Alright, Brody, let's dive right into it. The Mazda EZ-60, or as it'll be branded globally, the CX-60, is shaping up to be a game-changer for electric SUVs. I mean, it's not just about electrification, Mazda's gone all out.
Yeah, they've really stepped up their game here, haven't they? I mean, a 26.45-inch 5K touchscreen? That's like futuristic spaceship-level tech right there. My brain can barely handle my phone screen.
Exactly. And get this, it's not just a screen for the driver. It's designed for passengers too. Plus, instead of a traditional instrument cluster, you've got this sleek head-up display. It keeps everything right in your line of sight, way safer and way less distracting.
It's wild, isn't it? You remember when heads-up displays first started popping up? Everyone thought it was all gimmicky, like, why do I need numbers floating on my windscreen when dials work fine?
Oh, totally. I even remember selling cars where people were like, why would I ever need this?
Yeah, same deal. Fast forward a decade, and now we're sitting here talking about how it's become essential. Keeps your eyes where they should be, especially with the speed limits in some places jumping on you out of nowhere.
Totally. And those same efficiency principles carry into the whole design of the EZ-60, like the closed-off grille and flush door handles for aerodynamics. What Mazda's done here is rethink the SUV as this sophisticated, tech-savvy vehicle.
And I love that spoiler detail above the fake grille. I mean, that's Mazda showing off their design chops right there. It's functional for aerodynamics, sure, but it's also just cool, right?
Design-wise, it's sharp. But it's not just about looking good, it's got all the usability nailed too. Like the passenger-focused tech, improved aerodynamics, and this whole futuristic vibe while being super practical.
And don't forget that massive touchscreen in the back for passengers. Honestly, it kind of makes my old school belief in shotgun gets the good stuff feel less valid. Everyone wins here, even the folks in the back seat.
Speaking of smart design choices, Brody, let's look at what Mazda's done under the hood with the EZ-60, a pure electric drivetrain and the extended range electric option. It's like they're catering to both the cutting-edge EV adopters and those who still want a touch of familiarity. Bridging these worlds is no small feat.
Yeah, it's like Mazda's trying to have their cake and eat it too, right? The EREV setup is kind of genius though, an electric motor doing the real work while the 1.5-litre engine just kicks in to juice up the battery.
Exactly. And that electric motor, we're talking about 160 kilowatts in the EREV and 175 in the all-electric one. Plus, the fuel efficiency of having that generator engine makes it super practical for, longer trips.
Hold on, 175 kilowatts? That's about 235 horsepower in the pure electric. Pretty impressive for an SUV. I mean, back in the day, you'd be bragging about numbers like that on some burly V6, not this quiet green machine.
Absolutely. And then there's the range to consider. The pure electric version with the 79.97 kilowatt-hour battery goes up to, 620 kilometers? And even the smaller 66.8 kilowatt-hours battery gets you about 520 kilometers. That's no joke.
And here's the cool part. The EREV runs a smaller 31.73 kilowatt-hours battery, but it's still good for 160 kilometers of all-electric range before the engine even has to lift a finger. That's like perfect for city folks who just need their daily commute covered.
Oh, totally. And I've got to say, from my experience in Victoria, buyers here seem to really prioritise that flexibility. People want vehicles that make electrification easy without having to sweat over charging stations when they're planning a long trip.
Yeah, like that range anxiety everyone keeps talking about. This EREV thing sort of nips that in the bud. You're driving electric most of the time, but then you've got the backup if, life happens or whatever.
Precisely. And it's not just about convenience. It's that peace of mind. Mazda's really nailed that sweet spot between being fully electric and still giving you the versatility of a range extender. It's like their safety net for skeptics.
Fair call. And honestly, when you chuck in those advanced battery options, you're not just buying a car, you're getting choices that actually make you feel smarter about the whole EV move. Mazda's playing their cards right here.
Brody, when you consider everything Mazda has packed into the EZ-60, it's not just about the car itself. It's a move that ties into their bigger game plan. Collaborating with Changan and building on the EPA1 platform, for example, is paving the way for them to scale these innovations for a huge market like China. It's really about making electrification work on a global level.
Yeah, massive is right. The scale of what they're doing in China is just next level. I mean, back in the day, people used to scoff at Chinese-built cars. Now, they're leading the charge, no pun intended, on EV tech and manufacturing efficiency.
Exactly. But it's not without its challenges. For instance, bringing something like the EZ-60 into the Australian market, it's complicated. You've got to account for everything, from consumer trust in Chinese manufacturing to the infrastructure needed to support these EVs.
Oh, totally. And the made in China thing. It's a perception game. But I reckon with Mazda's name on it, people will be a bit more open-minded. You know, after all, it's about the product delivering on the promise, not where it's bolted together.
Right, and speaking of delivering, let's not forget the Kodo design language. It's not just about looking sleek. It's about connecting with global and local tastes. Australians, for example, we've got a love for bold, practical designs, and Mazda seems to get that.
Yeah, there's something about Kodo that feels timeless, but modern, you know? It's like, growing up, my folks were all about those classic boxy Aussie cars, and while this is light years ahead, it still feels kind of familiar. Just slicker and way more techy.
Absolutely. And that's the genius of Mazda. They've managed to blend contemporary tech with designs that resonate across cultures. It's like they've tapped into this universal appeal without losing what makes them distinctly Mazda.
And hey, that's the trick, isn't it? Balancing the high-tech bells and whistles with stuff that still feels, I don't know, approachable. Honestly, I can't wait to see how Aussie buyers react when or if this thing lands down under.
Yeah, fingers crossed we do get it here. I think this model could really shake things up, from tech-forward families to early adopters. But on that note, I'd say it's a wrap for today. Great chat, Brody.
Yeah, loved it. Thanks for having me, as always. And to everyone listening, cheers for tuning in. Catch you next time.